the guests come and
flow.
Can one of the guests come and fix my hair? Carla, okay, let's put Carla up. Carla, thanks for coming on the show. Before we get started, tell everybody on Rebel News a little bit about you and where they can find you, because I wanted to have you on for like an outside looking in perspective to these Alberta by-elections, and really in particular the one that's happening in Old Didsbury, Three Hills, because that's the one where the separatists, I think, will have a stronger showing than most people think. So go ahead, introduce yourself to the world.
Well, thanks for having me on. I am a podcaster. I'm the host of the Sovereign CEO podcast, where we talk about all things business, politics, and living free. I've been a business owner for 12 years, lost my business during COVID, which set me on one of these wild paths to talk about all the things that are compromising our freedom here in Canada. So I help other people now recover from that loss that I had during COVID. I help them bulletproof their businesses. I help them use their voices online, because we got a lot of big problems here in Canada.
Girl,
Yeah.
You're saying it. You're preaching to the choir.
Well, exactly. And I think that's why there are so many people in Alberta who just are ready to throw in the towel. And it's not that they are anti-Canadian. They just feel like Canada has been anti-Alberta from the very beginning. And I know a lot of people don't feel that way, but structurally, I don't know how you couldn't look at how things work out for Alberta and say that they haven't been mistreated by successive governments and structural inequity within Confederation. What's it like? I'm curious. I'm always in Alberta, and if I'm not in Alberta, I'm in Saskatchewan, right? So I'm in a bit of a Western bubble. But what's the word on the street in the rest of the country about Western separatism? Do they think we're crazy?
Probably. I mean, I think I think Canadians aren't equipped with information. You know, the left has the biggest weapon right now, which is institutionalized media. So they actually just don't have the facts. It was just this week I had Tristan Hopper on the podcast, and we were talking about this. People have very strong feelings and very strong opinions about these matters, but they actually don't have a lot of the facts on so many issues. So the pulse most likely is either people are ready to move to Alberta. I live in a pretty redneck hunting community. Like most people where I live are
right.
We're good. We're like 24 hours from Toronto, even though I'm in Ontario.
Still feels too close.
Yeah. Well, I'm a prairie girl at heart. I'm a Tobin, so I'm watching a lot from that perspective as well. I think anyone that is a blue collar worker, anyone that understands some basic things like food, energy, money, they probably understand why Alberta wants to separate. But the Laurentian elite, anyone that works for the government, they have no idea. I would be surprised if they even know about the payments that are going to the East Coast. Like Canadians know so very little about how our country is structured. So I think, I think for sure you guys are being vilified.
You're telling us, Karla Treadway, that Eastern Canadians don't know that all of their social services that they get delivered on silver platters are being paid for by Alberta and Saskatchewan. They don't know this. Like they're unaware of this.
I would be very surprised. Yeah.
We need to go on an education tour in Eastern Canada, Sheila Gunry. This is
no, it won't be. It is my hope that it won't be our problem soon. I'm always curious because I wonder how much the rest of the country pays attention to just how angry people are in the West and how many brand new little separatists or at least independence-minded people were born on April 28th. Because in all of the rallies that I went to, like the Polyev rallies, easily the ones in Edmonton, Calgary were the biggest ones. They were huge, like 16,000 people, 15,000 people. That's NHL numbers.
Yeah.
Going to rallies here, our ridings can't go any bluer, and yet it doesn't matter what we do. We still get the Liberals. It's decided long before it gets to us. And I'm always curious if people understand what that's like, that knowing that you're still waiting in line to vote and the election's over. I'm just curious if they even care or no.
I think they see those big numbers, but what I can say from an outsider's perspective, I think we have a big problem with the right always fracturing itself. Like as an insider, as someone that understands why you would want to, I can also look from the outside and say, I don't think you have as much support as you think. Like first, I was blown away by those numbers that it was closer to 30%.
I think it's actually closer to 50%. Last polling data was like 47%.
Really?
Which is within the margin of error of half already. And there's been no education campaign. It has gone from like 25% to like 36% to approaching 50% in 2 months.
Yeah, same goes for Saskatchewan. It's same for Saskatchewan. We're sort of running tied together. What are those three-legged races with Alberta to get out of here, get gone?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to have disastrous effects for Canada if it happens. It's going to change everything if it happens. Will it happen? I don't know. If anything, it's a really good bargaining chip for some change.
Sure.
And listening to Brett Wilson, that's how he talks about it. When people talk about separation, he says, are you going to build a wall? Are you going to build a moat? Or are you going to do paperwork? And people kind of furrow their brows and they say, well, paperwork. And he's like, yeah, well, that's cutting a deal. Like most likely the situation will lead to cutting a deal. Hopefully, but who knows? Like the last 5 years have been absolute chaos, and everything that I said, there's no way that could happen. It has happened.
Right.
So it'll be an interesting show, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, it'll add a or else to the conversation with the rest of the country, because I don't think, and I think we heard this from the Bloc leader, I don't think they're ever serious about leaving. And I think, like, I feel like his comments about Alberta when he said, oh, well, oil and gas isn't a culture. You've obviously never been here then. But when he said that, I felt like it was coming from a place of jealousy, because if there were a province to ever leave, it wouldn't be Quebec, because they kind of like it here, because they have the or else blackmail chip. And I don't think they want somebody else to have it.
Well, no, and how grating would it be to Quebec separatists to have Alberta come in and steal their thunder? Like they would just be so annoyed at this. It's like these bargy Albertans coming in, taking our whole thing, just taking our cake and eating it too. Just
make your own language too. Just go for it.
Right. Have you been here?
Redneckanese.
We do. Yeah.
Well, if it doesn't go in the separatist favor, I think we really have to evaluate the unity within the right. The left never fractures. So the very things that make us conservatives are high integrity, our common sense. It also really works against us, because we will constantly fracture ourselves. We will oust people who are not doing their jobs or who are out of integrity. The left doesn't care. The left doesn't care if there is corruption, if someone is out of integrity, because they value power above all else. So if the separatists don't get their way, this is the wake-up call. We cannot keep fracturing. We have to work together, because this monster on the left has the power of the media. Now they are like furthering these bills that will maybe have people jailed for dissenting opinion. Like we can't let the left keep growing in size. Eventually we're going to have to compromise and work together.
Yeah, that's one of the problems with the right, is that the thing that makes us on the right is that sense of self-reliance and independence. But when you have independent-minded people, it's hard to get them all marching in the same direction and chanting the same slogans. And then you go to a leftist protest and they're all holding signs and they didn't even bother to read them. They're just like, some guy told us to hold a sign up and say this chant, and we will.
What's the slogan today? All right,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Blind loyalty. Blind loyalty is what the left has down pat, and the right has to commit to not fighting the right. We do not fight the right. We do not fight our friends and neighbors. We do not fight the right, and that's a lesson that we could learn from them. You're right, Carla. You're
Yeah, it's true.
right.
You know what though? People are addicted to drama, and I'd like to. I'm a voyeur. I will watch the drama, but I won't even stick a toe in it. You won't get me involved in any of it. You can see that on my social media. I just don't get, like, I see, oh, they're fighting on the right. Oh, they're fighting in the American right, and I'm just watching. I just don't even want to be caught in the crossfire. I'm just an innocent bystander in all of it. Yeah, exactly.
Let's put all that energy over there. We got all kinds of things to fight about over there. Like, they're just watching us and laughing, us just like dismantle ourselves from the inside.
Yeah. You know, on the flip side, though, there's something to be said for burning it all down and starting again, which is how we got the current Conservative Party, right? The Reform said it can work. The Reform was like, nope, we don't want any part of it. We out. That's how we got the United Conservative Party. And I think that's a pretty effective party. It fractured the old progressive conservatives, broke apart, and the Wild Rose said, we want nothing to do with 44 years of corruption. Now, basically, they're running the show. So it does take a little bit of wandering in the wilderness. But I think at the end of the day, there's an argument to be made for something better growing once you have fertilized the soil with ash.
Yeah, and we're watching the same thing happen in BC in real time. We're watching the same thing happen in BC. We see this huge groundswell of support for the BC Conservatives, and then all of a sudden, a couple of them go, wait a sec, did we do these things properly? And integrity is called into question. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But in Alberta, it definitely played out the way it should have. So there's that. I wish that would happen for you in Ontario, Carla.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I'm forming a Northern Ontario separatist party right now. So there's just like 12 of us, but we will separate and eventually become a sovereign nation.
I'm going to give you some advice. Get onto Tubi and start watching yourself some documentaries on micronations, because if all else fails, I'll be stamping some passports at the end of my driveway. There's a crazy guy in Australia who started his own micronation out of a sheep farm. I think it's called the Principality of Hutt River or something. And he turned his entire sheep farm into this little country of its own. He set up like the passport place. Then he made it like a tourist trap, like, oh, come get your passport stamped and I'll charge you $20 and you can wander around and buy some fake money or whatever. And the local municipality had no idea what to do with him. They were just like, what do we do with this madman? So you know what? That's my bug out plan.
I still want this for you, Carla. I want you to be the prime minister of a micronation in Northern Ontario. This is like I'm seeing it in your future.
He was a prince.
I mean, I already live on an island out here. I just need to make a flag. So we're already
the work's half done.
We're so close.
You don't even need a wall. You don't even need a wall or nothing. You have a natural moat.
There's a smaller one. This is a new micronation. Hutt River is the other one. It's a sheep farm, and he got mad at everybody about the sheep quotas, and so he was like, you know what? I'm out. And they didn't have a clue. He just kept doing it, and they didn't know what to do. And so you know what? There's micronations are a thing. You could be one.
I love this for us.
I know. Carla, we promised you 15 minutes. I think we have Sean Newman coming up shortly. How do people find you and support the work that you do and see all of the hard work that you do?
Probably the easiest spot is Instagram at Karla Joy Treadway, or I'm the Sovereign CEO over on X, where I definitely get a little spicier over there. I behave myself on Instagram, but not on Twitter.
Yeah.
You keep it pretty for Insta.
Meta.
It's spicy on X. That's the way it's supposed to be. Oh, Carla, well, you're such a treat. We're so happy to
Yeah.
have had you tonight.
Oh, thanks for
And
having
thanks so
me.
much for offering us some insights into what the rest of the country is thinking of our
Yeah.
grand little adventure on the prairies.
What results are you guys hoping for? I'm curious here.
Oh, you know what? We forgot to ask Carla her predictions
Go
because
on.
are you taking a ledger lease?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. You know what? I'm just hoping for a strong showing from the separatists. If only to, I don't, here's my prediction. I don't think they're going to win the riding. I think they're going to do okay, and that's okay because we lived through a vote split here and we got the NDP in Canada's most conservative province. So I think people are apprehensive to see that happen again, but they're going to do well. I think Nenshi, the NDP leader, is going to win his seat because the riding is the university crazy people and the blue hairs and it's just the Pride Parade part of
Edmonton.
town. It's the Pride Parade part of town.
Shame
You know what?
parade. Shame parade.
Yeah.
Sheila,
And
shame parade.
the other riding, Edmonton Ellerslie, I think it's a toss up. It could go either way. And that is a testament to how poorly Nenshi is doing. What do you think, Carla? I know you're not an Albertan, so you're not as deeply in the numbers as me, but
Well, Nenshi's going to win for sure. And anything Edmonton, your cities are pretty captured by the leftists. So I think Nenshi's going to take that one. I definitely don't want the separatists to win. I don't know about the Republic Party, but I agree. I think it would be good for them to have a big role there because then you guys will have more bargaining power. But I really hope that Tara Sawyer takes over. What a good, fresh face to represent the Conservative Party. She's only 27 years old. No more of this like just old white guy stuffy narrative of like, look at all the young people that are rising up as conservatives. I think that's actually really important for the movement to actually show there are so many people that actually share this thinking, so many common sense Canadians. So I really hope that Tara wins.
you know, it's funny. I can tell you're from Ontario because we have a lot of young ladies sitting in the legislature as conservatives in Alberta, and Tara would just be another one because we have a very young conservative movement here. But that, I guess, is the difference between Doug Ford's conservatives and the frisky ones out here in the West. We're just a different breed, I think.
Yeah, at least Dougie's been pretending like he's a conservative lately.
Yeah, he's saying some
kind of
things, isn't
applauding.
he?
He's had a great 2.5 weeks. Like, go Doug.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
more
where's
than
this
he's done
guy?
in years.
We should have castle law or something. There's
Yeah.
people with guns and crime everywhere here. Like it's like he just woke up.
Yeah, he wants us shooting bad guys in the street, and I'm like, where were you the last 6 years?
Yeah,
Who's
hey,
this guy?
Doug, good to have you here finally. Like, thanks for showing up, buddy.
Yeah, I just keep thinking that it's like he's gonna pull his mask off and it's Rob underneath.
It's just the best. Everybody would just be delighted with that, though. That's the
Yeah.
crazy thing. Be like, Rob, we knew
Rob, you big
that you were
lug.
up to something. That's right. Just missed
All
you,
right.
buddy.
Okay, I think we were signing off with Carla. We've got some early results coming in, so let's check on those, and maybe we can track down where Sean Newman is because he's running a
Okay.
little late, and that's okay because we are real good at talking and ragging the puck over here.
Well,
So,
Karla Treadway, again, it's
Thank
just
you.
such a treat to have you. Thanks so much for being here, and just stay sovereign. Stay
Yeah.
sovereign.
Yep, I'm coming to get my passport stamped at your
Thanks, ladies.
micronation. Yeah.
Yeah. Island, we are a republic.
Bye. All right, we got
Bye.
some